Yo, come on in, folks. Everything you're hearing is coming from V-Stage, all the sounds. Including this organ. Organ is from V-Stage. It's MIDI. What up, folks? What y'all got to say in the chat? Let me know if y'all watching, where y'all watching from. Let me know if y'all can hear everything pretty good. Let me know if y'all can hear everything pretty good. Let me know if y'all can hear me and everything else good. And make sure y'all like this video. Yo, 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 what up, folks? You know who it is. It's your man, 100 Gram, John Mike, back again today. We are live. We got James Wilson watching from Orlando. Let me know where y'all watching from. Who else? I'm not seeing any other comments. I'm seeing a bunch. Okay, we got Gifted Musician from Louisiana. Welcome to the stream. Who else is on the stream? Let me know where y'all watching from. Let your boy know where you're watching from. You can just grab this. I don't feel like I'm stretching all out. Gifted Musician says sounds good. Thank you so much, man. So everything that you guys were just hearing is all coming from V-Stage. So that's the piano here, the lead synth. Let me switch my camera here so you guys can, I'm gonna talk to it this way. So the piano, all coming from V-Stage. This lead synth, that's coming from V-Stage. I almost called it V-Synth. And then even this organ top, even all of that, and the foot is all coming from V-Stage. So I have a whole station, organ, mains, and aux, all coming from one keyboard from V-Stage itself, right? So that is one of the things that I really want to kind of focus in on today. In that I think this keyboard is pretty well a game changer in a lot of ways, right? So I know that it has the look and feel of like a stage, you know, a Nord stage keyboard or what have you. That's kind of like the vibe that a lot of people have been talking about this on and looking at this on. But truth of the matter is this is a different animal all in of itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the way to kind of look at this. It's just a different animal. You know what I'm saying? This has some things in it as I've been exploring, and I've had it for about a month and a half now. Um, had a chance to really dig into it and spend some time with it. And it is definitely way different of a board now that I kind of got hands on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different kind of vibe and a different kind of feel to really kind of talk about like and get hands on and experiment with all of the things that I've been talking about up to this point when it comes to V-Stage, because I've done a lot of videos where I've talked about the USBC in and out, the MIDI capabilities, the control capabilities, all of those things like that. And now to finally have hands on this particular board and be able to kind of like really kind of give you guys an objective opinion, you know, it's just a different kind of animal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to explore today, and we're going to talk about this in some different ways today. And I want to answer some questions. So that's why I decided to do this live versus trying to do like some kind of prepared, you know what I'm saying, like video where I really like dig in and do, you know what I'm saying, all of the stuff that way. I just said, let me just go live. Let's talk about it. Let's talk to the community about it. Let's answer questions that you might have about this particular board or what have you. I had Ed Diaz in the studio from Roland the other day, and he showed me a bunch of little things. We're going to be dropping some of that content on the channel here in the next um few days or what have you. You'll start seeing some of that stuff come on. But I wanted to get on and kind of give you guys a really objective opinion about this, okay? So let me see what you guys are saying or what have you. So feel free. This is what this live is about. This live is really about me telling you guys and talking to you guys about it. I'm not trying to sell it to you like I'm some kind of marketer, because I'm not marketing this board to you guys like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a salesman for Roland. I don't get any kickbacks or nothing. Roland hasn't paid me for this video. They did send the board, so I did get the board. you know, in hands because I believe in it. I think it's a dope product, but no money has changed hands when it comes to this. I'm just here to give you guys my objective opinion. We're going to talk about the pros. We're going to talk about the cons. I'm going to talk about some things that I think is very interesting about this board that it brings to the table that there's not too many other hardware boards that bring this same level of functionality to it, and why I think it's a good, like, I mean, it's just a good vibe to see. So I want you guys to ask me questions down in the comment section because, again, that's what type of live this is. We're going to talk about the ins and outs. We're going to talk about the price points. We're going to talk about um, we're going to talk about like some of this really dope functionality that's built into it, utilizing it with the computer, utilizing it with like main stage and things of that nature. So I'm excited to kind of hop in and show you guys some of this stuff. All right. Let's see, comment section. Okay, we got Donnell Poole watching on Facebook from Huntsville, Alabama. Man, welcome to the stream, my guy. What else you guys got? Um, Chris Andrew says, is this the 76 or the 88 killer prayer playing at the front? Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate that comment. So this is the 76 key version. This is 76 key version. That's why it looks as small as it does. You know what I'm saying? This is 76 key. In my opinion, in my holistic opinion, I think this is the size to get. I think this, if I'm getting V-Stage, unless you're trying to get this for mains exclusively, like exclusively for mains, I want to play this as a mains board. I think that this is the better buy, the 76 key. And even as mains, it does not feel bad. This key bed is actually really, really good. So it's not weighted, right? So it's not like a weighted board at all. So, but it's semi-weighted, it's waterfall keys. And I think this is the better action. And I think this is the better feel. Like if I'm just a regular Joe Smo, I have nothing. And tomorrow I got to buy a keyboard for gigs and for going out. I would get this one because it's the size of it, 76, it's enough room for me to do everything that I need to do on it, and it's also enough weight and feel to it to where it doesn't feel bad playing piano stuff. It's very responsive and it feels really, really good. So it's a good feel for that, but it's also very light. And this is like, I can throw this under my arm, walk into a gig, you know, nice light gig bag vibes. You know what I'm saying? It's not heavy and it's feel. And then my biggest reason for this is because the 76 key gives you more versatility when it comes to this particular keyboard, mainly because when you're trying to play, depending on the type of gig and the type of player you are, then you're going to want to have that functionality. So like organ does not feel good playing it on an 88 key, right? But this has the right feel. Let me turn these off real quick and turn organ on over here. I gotta shift a couple of things here real quick. Like, I got my volume pedal over here. So for organ and like synth stuff and doing those type things, it's just a better workflow. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't feel like very confident playing that on an 88 key weighted, you know what I'm saying, board, being able to like really get down like that. It just lends these, let me switch camera. These waterfall keys, they just lend to some better, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're, you know, it just feels 100% better doing that on these keys versus doing them on like an 88 key. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, I wouldn't be able to get that same kind of vibe. And so if you're that type of player that's really versatile in that you play organ, you play keys, that might be on the gig, and you play aux, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the same kind of workflow. If I'm doing, it's the same kind of workflow like if I'm doing aux or what have you. So again, turning off organ, turning on my aux. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna feel like super dope playing that on like a like on a weighted key. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna get that same kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to play that on on a regular you know what I'm saying, board. And then the same goes for like mains. Let me get a good key. It's really intricate. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the 88 key just lends a whole lot better to just universal playing. And out of the two, I honestly like the 76 better. And I went into Guitar Center like a few weeks ago and they had an 88 there, and I jumped in and messed around with the 88. Nah, I wasn't impressed. I was like, you know what? I really want to deal a little bit more with I like the feel and the workflow a whole lot better with the 76. And that's just kind of like my take on the keys. The keys feel really, really good. They lend to all different sorts and types of playing. And if you're looking to get it, of course, the price is also cheaper. So you're going to spend 3,400, 3,500 versus like 4 bands if you go with the 76 versus going with the 88. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what else you guys got on question side of things. Let me get back up here. Sorry, man. I missed a lot of comments. Let's see. Donnell says, how much different is the V-Stage from the Fantom EX? Similar and different at the same time. I have a Fantom, it's the non-EX, but I got it actually upgraded to EX. So it's the same board. They didn't really do anything with the EX update besides just really add in new sounds, and then they slapped EX on it. They didn't really like add anything to the board because all old Fantoms that was made, not the old, but the latest generation of Fantoms that was made can be updated to EX and work that way or what have you. So the EX, so the EX, Fantom EX, the difference between the two, uh, Fantom EX is um, it's a whole lot more expandable, you know what I'm saying, as far as like your synths and stuff, you know, your models and all of the different things that you can bring in to really uh you know, kind of work that flow. So you get more sounds, more you know what I'm saying, access to more, and you can load all that stuff in from like that. One of the things that's different from the EX and the V-Stage, because they both have a scene-based workflow. Now, that's the thing that's similar about them. You can use scenes. They have scenes on the Fantom, they have scenes on the Fantom EX, and you also have a similar in and out on the Fantom EX and the V-Stage, except the V-Stage has USB-C out on it versus the regular traditional USB kind of type vibe. You know what I'm saying? The traditional USB. So that's one kind of major difference with them. So you can do the same similar kind of workflow. Of course, you got dedicated drawbars for the organ on the V-Stage versus the Fantom not really having, it doesn't really have a good organ engine. You can flip the faders into drawbar mode, but it's not the same when you're doing that on the Fantom versus when you're doing it on the V-Stage or what have you. You know what I'm saying? It's just a better workflow for that. So if you want like hands-on control of organ, V-Stage. If you're not really an organ guy, then I would go with Fantom. Other thing that's really different is the V-Stage just has the regular mod wheel and a regular pitch bend, whereas the Fantom has both of those, but it also has like the little joystick joint. So that's something that's different. The thing about it is they both kind of live in the same price point, and so that's what makes a lot of people go like, should I get this or should I get that, or why should I get this when this is a thing? So, and then of course you get the touch screen and stuff with the Fantom. You know, this doesn't have a touch screen, it's just a regular kind of screen, so you get a bigger screen workflow. So and then of course Fantom has a sequencer, has, you know, full launch modes for like tracks and things like that. So if you're a type of person, and for production, it's good for production and stuff like that. So if you're trying to really get into like production, launching like tracks and doing all of those things, then you should just go with a Fantom. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're needing a bigger sound palette, then you should go with Fantom. But V-Stage is kind of a different machine in of itself, where it does share some of the same kind of guts and same kind of like workflow in terms of scenes and stuff like that. It's a whole lot more streamlined. So you're gonna get like organ, dedicated section for your organ, dedicated controls, hands-on, not having to dig through touch screens and do all of that and dig through menus. And then you got dedicated for piano, dedicated for electric, dedicated for your synth section and stuff like that. So that's what kind of, in my opinion, sets those two apart, even though they live in similar price ranges. So it just really depends on what type of player you are and what you're trying to go for. If you're just looking for sounds, if you're not really looking for like a workstation workflow, then get V-Stage. If you're looking for like something that's going to be more versatile, you know, from studio to stage, then you probably want to go with the Fantom. Just 2 cents out the gate, what I think about it. You know what I'm saying? Just something that I kind of think. All right, let me see what else we got. Man, why does this thing keep jumping down? Would you put the organ over the Nord or close? I would not. Just, you know, just being honest, completely honest. Again, this is my honest opinion on this. I don't put gas where there is gas needed, and I don't you know, I don't burn it when it don't need to be burned. But the organ situation is, if you want to like pound for pound better organ, you're gonna have to go with Nord. It's just a better kind of workflow, you know what I'm saying? Not workflow, but a better I would say not a better workflow, but I'll say like a better tone and better Leslie. So one thing about this V-Stage organ, so one thing about it, nice tone, right? For me, it's all about the Leslie, right? I'm gonna play these. It's not that loud, man. I just turn it up, but you know, whatever. It's just, you know, it's kind of mellow, but then if I switch to upper, it's wide open. That's when you really can tell. So, you know, that you can judge for yourself for what you think of the tone. It's cool. Now, one thing, I have not done a lot of like work on the organ specifically, but one thing that's really cool about V-Stage organ versus the Nord organ is it's really, really tweakable. Like really, really tweakable. So I can tweak there's like menus you probably guys probably won't be able to see. Oh, I wasn't trying to pull that up. Yeah, but it's actually kind of fire. I didn't even think about that. Let me see if I can adjust that. That actually might be a good workflow. Let's keep that up there. Let's put it over here. I clicked the button I wasn't trying to click, but it actually worked. That's cool. I might keep that up for a second. So, but you can't see it even if I do like switch holistically to this uh flow, you still wouldn't be able to see it. But inside the menu on the organ, there are options for me to be able to like tweak, and I'll just read them off to you guys. You could tweak the woofer slow, the woofer fast, the tweeter slow, tweeter up, tweeter down, mic position. There's like literally like it's almost like having like VB3 or something like that, like built in. You got all of the effects and all of these things built in, and so it's highly customizable. Is what makes this kind of I think Lord have mercy, a better workflow that you can really kind of get down and dirty, but out the box tone, speed, Nord is probably going to have that beat. And then the other thing is, especially if you're going with like the C2D or like a even the Nord Organ 3 that's coming up, even the old school C1, they got the Leslie pin on the back, and you can actually run this out to a external Leslie and be able to like kind of get down like that. Whereas V-Stage does not have, you just kind of limited to the digital Leslie that's built in, or you're gonna have to like invest in something like a neo ventilator, or like a Leslie pedal or something like that. There's a ton of them things on the market that you can use. So that's kind of the caveat to that. You know what I'm saying? Having to do that, but it is tweakable. I have not spent much time trying to tweak the organ. That's just me. But you guys can kind of judge what you guys think about it in terms of that. All right, keeping it moving. I think I talked about the key bed before. Would I say it feels better than Yamaha? Uh, it depends on what Yamaha you're talking about. Like, if we're talking like Mode DX, yeah, way better than that. If we're talking, and this is the waterfall kind of vibe. If we're talking the CK, I played those a little bit. Wasn't too impressed. I'd say yes, but if we're talking like your flagship, like montage, probably not. It's probably, and depending on what you're trying to use it for, again, it's a mixed bag in terms of what the key bed feels like and what it's like. Some are gonna love it, some are gonna hate it. I actually love it. I think it's a really good kind of workflow. You know what I'm saying? I think it feels really, really good for the flow. And like if I'm out and I'm gigging, you know what I'm saying? It's good for that. It's very responsive. And the other thing that's cool, you can actually adjust the feel. So there's like a key touch feel. So I can actually go like, it's called low, or I can go, or it's probably light, H. Then I can kind of do like a hybrid. It really does, how it's really expressive on that way. I like H, just keeping it heavy. It just feels good like that to be able to kind of use it like that. That's just kind of how you know, kind of how I've worked with it or what have you. So I like that part of it. So it's a really good feel. I got really no check on Roland on the feel of the board personally. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I love this because this is the reason why I went live on this, because I wanted to kind of dig in on what you guys' questions were about this. Jackson, Tennessee, what's good? Welcome to the stream. I'm from Jackson, man. I'm trying to think if I can put the name Antoine. Doesn't sound familiar out the gate, but I'll hit me up and remind me if we've met before. What's the difference between North Stage 4 and M8X? There's a lot of difference between those two boards. You're talking about a workstation versus a stage piano on that. He says, love my semi-weighted keys. Yes, sir. Gifted musician says, a lot of the MIDI functions on the new Roland V-Stage are very reminiscent of the functions of the old Roland V-Synth. Yes, which allowed to run a laptop and computer rack module depending on the era. I totally agree with that. All of their V series boards are really, really good. And Roland has been like kind of transcending that game for quite a while now. And that kind of leads me into a quick point, and then I'm gonna get back into questions about this. Is here's where this board kind of wins. And I hate that it kind of is reminiscent of the Stage 3. That's kind of like the overall workflow. That's a design choice that Roland decided to kind of work with this. And even though it kind of is reminiscent of that workflow, I think they chose it because it was kind of familiar. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they kind of went with this look, is because it's familiar to a lot of musicians, you know what I'm saying, in this kind of workflow. Organ to piano to synth, you know, and knobs and so on and so forth, and drawbars kind of at the ready. I get it. And they've had that workflow before on some of their other V series, like the VR series boards. We're not going to talk too deep about that on this stream. But even though it's reminiscent of that, where this board wins is not necessarily on sound quality, on how good does the piano sound, how good does the organ sound, you know what I'm saying, how's the EPs, you know what I'm saying. It does not win on, and when I say it does not win, doesn't mean that it's not good. It does not win. What makes this board win is not the sounds. That's not what makes this board win. What makes this board win is the in and out and the functionality that it offers. Because this board is a session runner. It is a stage runner. You can do so many things with this board that you cannot do with any other stage piano. All right. So I'm going to quickly kind of run through what I think is the game-changing pieces of this. So first of all, let's start with the fact that you can connect multiple keyboards to this one board. So with this one board, I have my mains here or what have you, right? But I also have on this board over here connected up, this MIDI controller, a lead sound. So that means I can be in a live set. You know what I'm saying? But I also have my organ, my Krumar organ. This is I'm just using it as a MIDI controller. I have this plugged up to the V-Stage via USB as well. So it allows me to play the organ section from my Krumar with the foot included. Both manuals. And then I got that. So now I have a whole section, and I was running a track earlier. Let's bring it in. You know what I'm saying? And I'll bring my bass in. So you could be on this workflow. Break the bass. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that is a super dope workflow with this board. So I have everything connected to this board via MIDI, you know what I'm saying? And I could plug more keyboards up if I so desire. I could run like a MIDI cable out, like an external MIDI out, and I could plug up to 3, 4, 5 boards to this one board. You know what I'm saying? Just in that situation. So imagine this is your setup. Imagine this is your situation. You got your MIDI controllers here, you got your organ controller here. Now I'll give you a couple of drawbacks with the particular organ controller. I'll give you another con while I'm here. The only thing that's the problem with this setup, I'm only using the keys. I can only use the keys. I still have to control the drawbars and all of that from the V-Stage itself, because these drawbars, even though I have them, they don't, the V-Stage does not receive MIDI CC information yet, they told me, on the organ drawbars. They're working on an update that'll hopefully fix that. And then maybe we can get some drawbar action and I can get some independent like control of the organ section from another MIDI controller, which would be dope. Then we also have, but what I did was I just used a pedal to change my Leslie speed, because you can do it here or there. And I just press the pedal to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that just works. Because I got, even though I got like a little half moon switch here, that doesn't work either. So that's the thing. Plug up a thing, but my volume pedal, it works. You know what I'm saying? So I got a workflow in that I can use to be able to really do some stuff and kind of get down and dirty, controlling multiple boards in there. So in and out just makes it a whole lot better. And that's also including the fact that you have like 2 XLR outs, 2 regular outs, like just, you know, line 1/4 inch outs. You have sub outs, 2 sub outs. And that none of the other stage pianos nor all of those have like those sub outs that you can access like that, in addition to main outs. You have 6 outputs on this board, including the headphones. So 7 outputs that you can route and use, you know what I'm saying, and route your sounds and stuff too. You know what I mean? I can route the organ out the sub outs if I want to. I can route the EP. I can route my synths. And one thing that's really, really cool, I got this here. You could do it just as a demo and talk about it. So there's a mic input. There's 2 line inputs on here, and then there's a mic input. So here's what's dope. And I'm going to do a video where I'm actually going to show this, and where you could plug up, because you can route any of the things, including the microphone, out of the sub outs, right? So that means you could take a regular microphone, plug it up, and route it out and use this as a talkback mic all in your situation. So check this. I have my aux board, I have my organ, I have my V-Stage for mains. I can plug up a mic, run the sub outs into a mixer, and then have a talkback mic that's going through the V-Stage, because the V-Stage has a mic input button right here. You can just turn it and control the volume on the mic. And or if you sing, you can literally sing. It's just very versatile. It's a central command station. You know what I'm saying? You can't plug a talkback mic up to the Nord. Maybe you can. Maybe somebody's experimenting with that. I haven't seen anybody doing that. This offers a streamlined way to do that. You can literally just plug a straight XLR mic, boom, bam, click a button in here, turn it on, run it out the sub outs to a mixer, to a headphone amp, or to however you have your Aviums or P16s route it out to that thing. Bob's your uncle. I don't know. My uncle actually is named Mike. His name is, it's my Uncle Michael. It's not Bob. Anyway, I think that's what's cool. And then that's also not even getting into the fact that I have USB-C on here. I can route out every section of this board via USB-C. You know what I'm saying? I can route out the organ separate to separate audio channels. So if I'm inside of Logic, we got a video that I did with Ed that's coming out in the next couple of days where we show how to route the audio in Ableton, how to route it in Logic, and how to be able to use this board in a situation where you can record and do all of those things like that, just, you know, all inside of the V-Stage, all from the V-Stage, all off of USB-C. You know what I'm saying? Same with that. And then you have the control pedals. It has 4 control pedals. That's double what any other thing any other stage piano has, from what I understand and what I researched. You know what I'm saying? And all of them are assignable. So I have my control pedal right now. I have 3 plugged up. I have a sustain pedal. I have another control pedal that's controlling the Leslie on the organ, and I have a volume pedal for the organ over here, all plugged into the back of the V-Stage, and I'm running those, you know, in a situation. So it's just so much versatility, so much versatility built into this board. And I think that's the biggest pros. So if you're judging this on, oh, how does the piano sound? How does the organ sound? How is that? I think you're missing a very, 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 very key point about V-Stage, and in that the power of this board is not in the sounds. You can get sounds from anywhere. You can use this as a MIDI controller. There's a button on here that you can literally press. If I hold down shift and then I press like here on acoustic or what have you, it turns yellow. That means I'm playing just the internal piano, right? If I turn this off, then if I hold down shift again and press it again, it turns blue. You can see that little bitty blue light right there, right? Now it's acting as a MIDI controller, and I can literally go over here on the computer and I can pull up, let me stop this track. I can literally go over here on the computer and I'm going to change it so you guys can see it. I can literally jump right here, switch my camera. There it is. I can literally go here. Oh, and go, let me change this one. I know what I did right. It's because the MIDI channels are routed. So I can go here, boom. Turn this off. Now I'm playing peculiar sounds. So it's just super duper like give me a second. I'm gonna pull it up here. So synth A, let's get over here. And let's go to, it's probably gonna be under poly brass, I imagine. Synth poly key. It's Juno poly. Maybe that's J-pop, but I'm looking specifically for J-pop. It's in here because Ed showed it. It's JP. The J-pop brass is in here because we talked about it. I gotta find it. It's in here though. J-pop is definitely in here. It may be under a different category. Maybe it's under other. Synth brass. It's a lot of sounds in here, guys. There it is, J-pop. So yes, it has J-pop, like actual J-pop. It has actual J-pop brass in here. So do with that what you will. Govern yourselves accordingly. Have I used the drawbars? Do not control an external order. The drawbars send what they call sysx data. It does not send CC, so you cannot use it to control. I've tested, tried and tested. Won't work. Is the V-Stage organ better than the Electro 6D? It's pretty much, it's the same organ in the like electros that's in the regular organ. Like Nord just puts the same organ in all their boards. What up, Thomas? So it's the same organ. So like what I said about the organs earlier, it's kind of the vibe. Let's see what else we got. It seems like you love the board, but I'm weary about the depth of the piano sounds and how do you feel about them. So let's explore that. The pianos are really, really dope, actually. And so let's talk about just the pianos for just a second, and I'll demo some of them, because I think the pianos are really, really cool. They're not Nord heavy, you know what I'm saying? Like these aren't like these pianos. If you're looking for something to like trump the Nord on piano, then you might just want to just get a Nord. But these aren't bad pianos. You know what I'm saying? This is just one. This is the actual V-Stage piano. Right? That's the V-Stage piano. But let's dig into some of these other pianos. This German kind of grand that they have is really nice. Let me get octave down a little bit so I can get some more. So that's a really good piano, the German. This one's called Bold Grand. This is called Calm Focus. Open Warm. So it's got some just basic, you know, kind of nice pianos in here, some nice grands. But what I like is the uprights. The uprights of, to me, sound really, really good. Let me get back in here. Right? Those are good. There's like probably 25 more like upright pianos. It's got a lot of pianos in it, you know what I'm saying, for one. But these felt pianos are actually really, really, really good. I like the felt pianos. Right? So put a nice pad in there. Well, not that pad, right? That's J-pop. Let's get over here and get back to my regular schmegular pads that I was on. Right? Let's just go back to the basic where's that one that I had? It's like a decay or something pad. Oh, just go so. I just think that's just super dope. I would probably live. There's the pedal decay. That's the pad I was actually looking for. I would probably live on that a lot. And there's another one in here. There's another felt upright that just feels good, you know. I forget which one it is. So there's that. Pianos are decent, very decent. And I don't say decent as a check. You know what I'm saying? Some people are here decent and they think, oh, it's decent. I'm not looking for decent. You know, no, they're really good pianos, like usable, like playable. Um, like I would run them and use them and play them, you know what I'm saying, when I'm doing it. So very impressed by the piano sounds in that respect. What you guys got? Organ sounds too digital. I think that's fair because it's more of like a um VK. It's actually the VK7 organ. I mean, I grew up on that organ, so very familiar with that sound. And when I know it, when I hear it, um, man, if it sounds good coming through the live, sounds good coming through the live, I still running through the waterfall hammer. Yeah, exactly. And that's the other standpoint that you can do. That's the dope part that I've been telling people about this. There are other options because it can function as a MIDI controller. You can plug it up and use it for the Logic organ. Now, the actual control, sending CC and controlling things and like that's a different vibe. But you can, you know, use some other options. Even for piano. Like I would MIDI this up and use the Logic Studio piano because I'm in love with that. And I would also use Keyscape. You know what I'm saying? There's options because it can function as a MIDI controller and the scenes in it. The dope part about this is just such a mind-blowing like functionality that's built into it is that the scenes can be run with hardware, other hardware and software in mind. So I can set this up to where I can link my software, my hardware, even like if I have my montage, my Nord over here, I can set this up to where I can send program changes out to every board and change sounds on every board just by changing the patch, just by changing to the next thing, the next scene in here, it'll automatically shift everything in my rig just by turning the knob. And that, my friends, my boys and girls, that is the one of the killer features of this board. And you can send out program changes. I know other people say, oh, I could do that on the Nord. I could do that on the Yamaha, whatever, on the Motif or Montage or whatever. Yes, you can because program changes is a very old thing. It's not anything that's new. But the fact that with this board, you can send out a program change per section of the board, right? So this board has basically 6 sections: the organ, one, acoustic piano, electric piano, and then 2 synths. For each section of this board, I can send out a different MIDI control message on every one, a different program change message on every one of these. So if I want to, I can have the organ send out a message to the montage to change to this patch. And then I can have the piano section send out a program change that changes the sound on my Fantom. And then the EP section can send out a program change that changes the sound on my Gaia and then on my Moog. And then the synth A can send out something that changes something on the Gaia. And then synth B can send out a program change that changes something on the just throwing out boards at this point. Just stuff that I got in the other room. My Chronos, you know what I'm saying? And then I can also have all of these sounds on here change. The organ can change to a different tone, a different whatever. And then this changes all just by goop, turning the knob, boom, everything in the rig changes. Now, that's not a new thing. You've been able to do program changes for decades, right? But this has a very streamlined way of doing it, and just digging in, I've been able to be like, it's like been kind of mind blowing because I'm like, yo, this can be like This board is not just a stage piano. This is a central station, and you have to view it like that. And if you change your vibe on it and make it less about, well, what does this sound like? And what does that sound like? And how does this sound? And how does that sound? You know what I'm saying? Because we as producers, as musicians, we got sounds for days. You got sounds that you don't even use. You probably got Keyscape and you ain't opened it up in 2 years. You probably got Ravenscroft. You probably got this. You probably got that. You probably got all of these access to all of these sounds that you never use, right? So we got sounds for days. What I look for now in boards and everything is not just the sounds. Sounds is a part of it, of course, it's a keyboard. But what I look for is the functionality. What does this board offer to me that no other board is going to offer? If it sounds cool, that's what that board offers. Like my Electro, I have an Electro 6. The only thing it offers to me is sounds. It's a dope piano. It has the Nord has the best piano, like on a hardware board, bar none, period. Argue with me in the comments. I guarantee none of you are going to argue with me on the comments. It has the best piano sound. That board is a $3,000 piano that I bought, basically, because it was the cheapest way to get the Nord piano. I probably could have got a used Electro, but I'm just giving that as an example. It's the cheapest way into getting a good sounding Nord piano outside of getting a used. I'm talking like new. Going in the store tomorrow, buying a Nord Electro, you're gonna get that goodness out of the Electro piano goodness that I just love. That just sounds great. So that's what that offers my setup. The same goes with V-Stage. If I'm bringing this in, what this brings to the table is a different level of like just functionality. It is a command center. I could use this board to control every other board in my setup. I can use this board to record organ and piano at the same time. I can use this board to record, like I could put, like, this is the crazy thing because of how this is routed. And I got this in my, routed into my computer. Let me see if I can show that real quick. Let me see if I can show that real quick. Give me a second. We're going to set, let me see, we're going to set something up here. Let me see if I can set this up on my computer because I think I still have the audio routed the way it needs to be routed. It's coming out of 3/4, so give me a second. Let me see, where do I, 3/4. Oh, that's the sub. So input 5/6 is the organ. Okay. I'm going to set something up for you guys real quick. Watch this. Watch this. This is going to be cool. Okay. And I'm just going to use organ and piano just as an example, and my lead over here. Just going to set up 3 channels. Let me actually show you guys what I'm doing so you guys can see. So I'm in Logic. I'm gonna show you guys what I can do here. Oh, this is gonna be the piano. And then we're gonna set up one more track, and this is gonna be for my lead over here, this guy, right? Let's get the channel. So I have all my channels here in from the V-Stage. I believe what I'm looking for is on 11/12. Nope, and then it must be on, I believe that's the EP. Let's go 13/14. There it is. So here's the crazy part. Check this out. So I've turned down the volume on the V-Stage. Volume is down. Master volume is down. Right? Let me put arm. That's my piano. Let me switch back to the grand I had before. Switch back. Right? So I got that. And then we got the organ. Now the volume is turned down, but it is all coming out of organ is coming out of the computer. This is coming out of USB-C, right? Piano there, organ there, right? And then lead over here, right? You know what I'm saying? So we're in there. So I can literally let's just loop this right here inside. I'm just gonna loop it for like a couple of more measures. Command U that joint. And I'm just gonna record. Let me do something real quick here with the loop elements because I got the loop in here, right? So we're going to turn off host sync, and then I'm gonna bring the MIDI out of loop elements into Logic. So now I literally have, oh, do I have it muted? I have it faded. There it is. Sorry. That's what the issue is. I must have that what's it called turned up. Yep, I will. All right. So watch this. This is gonna be fun. So we're gonna record. Whatever. That was ratchet. I messed up something in the middle of it, but this will allow me to kind of show you guys what happened here. So I got that because I was on this MIDI channel and I recorded this by accident, whatever. Uh-oh, spring. Let's just get rid of this guy just for all intents and purposes, right? But let's just break it right there anyway. All right, so now in here, just that instance, I recorded both the organ You know what I'm saying? So that's, a ratchet example, but an example yet the same that how I was able to record the audio straight into Logic from this board with everything split. So literally in a session or whatever, I could be recording both my MIDI, my audio, all in one, my leads, my aux, everything all separated. So if I've set up a whole station and I set it up inside of Logic, Ableton, whatever my DAW is, I could literally just play. And at the end of the session, boom, I got my stems for all of my parts. Why is that important? For you guys that love to live stream, love to record at church. Let's say you're using V-Stage in your setup. You can literally plug your laptop up, set up your channels, record all of your stuff on Sunday when you're playing or when you're gigging or whatever. Record all of that stuff, come back after the service, after the church, later on that day. For those of you who love to like create these like really dope band videos or whatever the case may be, this is me playing whatever demo videos, you got the stems from you playing. Instead of having to deal with the 2-track that you got from church, the 2-track mix, you can record your own mix here, and then you can bring that stuff back in and post and be able to do whatever you need to do with it. That's the cool part about really working with, working with V-Stage. That's why I say it's all about what each board offers, not necessarily digging in on what the sound is. that's cool. If it's not, every sound is not everybody's forte, right? Everybody has sound is subjective. What sounds good to me may not sound good to you. What sounds good to someone else may not sound like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe to catch me out or somebody else. If you're coming off a Casio and you pick up a Roland, like, yo, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is the best piano I've ever played. But if you're coming off of a when I say Casio, I'm talking about the OG Casios, like the built-in speaker Casios with the terrible sounding piano, the toy piano Casios, not the Privias, like the really good ones. Like, but like if you're coming off something like that, something lower, and you gun to this, you're going to be like blown away. Now, if you're coming from a Nord Stage Force, Nord Grand 2, you know, you're coming from a, you know, super duper board above this, in a class above this, sound wise, you're going to be, oh, this, I don't like this. I don't like the piano. I don't like the organ. If you're coming from a Motif ES8, you know, and this board has organ built into it as well as piano and EP and synth sounds, you're winning. So I think that's why I want to shift, just kind of shift a little bit on the conversation of after having this in hand, you know, I have a whole different outlook and opinion. I'm like, this isn't a Nord Stage 3 clone. This is something totally different. And you have to approach it that way. You have to dig into it that way and look at it that way. Otherwise, if you're constantly comparing this to the Nord, you're going to find reasons that you don't like this. Well, the piano doesn't sound like this. Well, the organ doesn't sound like that. Well, the EP doesn't sound like this. Well, you know, so you have to figure out, like, what does it offer? For me, the winner, and I've been preaching this since I saw it at NAMM, the winner with this particular board is all of this, the guts that's in it, for lack of a better words, pause. That's what wins, is this. It's like all of the stuff you can do with it. Oh man, I'm sorry guys. I go on these tangents. I go on these tangents. Go on these tangents. He says too much technology for Roland not to get right the lack of sound design or engineering. I mean, yeah, if that's your perspective, I respect. I'm not like knocking it. It's got some decent sounds. I mean, some really decent, the leads, the pads, the strings, I'll show you guys some of the stuff. Hold on, give me a second. I'm working on a pack for Roland. I'm actually building. I'm gonna play you guys some of my um play you guys some of my sounds that I've been working on. These are just some. This is a synth bass. Synth bass. This is something I designed. Oh, I got it. Never turned it. Oh, something I did with that. Okay, I'll route that later. Well, because I rerouted the what's it called. That's the one y'all guys heard earlier. There's one I did. Okay, like this patch example. I call this patch. Is it because of? Oh, that's what it is. I'm still coming out of Logic. That's what the issue is. Let me turn this back up. There we go. Now I'm like, I know something was wrong. I call this patch praise and worship, right? Right? Nice. We know that. That's our classic piano stack for praise, right? But what's dope is I mapped the mod wheel to the brass to turn it into a pad. And then bells come in. So one, just by pushing the mod wheel, know what I'm saying? So that's what I like about that. It's a lot of functionality. And I don't have a whole lot of time to dig into V piano into making it like something that you can really tweak it and make it into something whatever you want, because V piano is very versatile. It just takes some work. And I'm gonna tell you something. The thing about this board, here's what I want you guys to keep in your mind. This board, and I told this to my dude Sheridan the other day. This board is the best sentence that I can give you to explain this board is some assembly may be required. Just think of it like that. It's like an IKEA board. It's not something you're going to pull out the box, which for some people, you're going to be able to pull it out the box and be able to have like nice, it's got some bread and butter sounds that you can really kind of go in on. It's going to be really good for that. But for somebody who's really, really into programming, really into like sounding a certain way and stuff like that, some assembly may be required. You're going to have to get in here and dig in to V piano, dig into the organ and tweak the Leslie sounds and make it sound the way you want it to sound. Get in there and tweak it. But once you set it, save it, and you got a dope sound and you can rock with it, get in there and spend some time with the piano. And I get it. I'm a plug and play type guy anyway. I told you the example earlier about the Nord. Like, I bought the Nord because I just wanted a really good sounding piano. I wanted the Nord piano, but I did not want to spend like $5,000 to get it. And I was like, okay, I could just get an electro and I can get the same piano sound that I'm looking for, just by doing that. So some assembly may be required with this board. That's what this is. Like, you have to be willing to open up your mind and think of all of the possibilities of programming instead of like weighting it just on the sounds. I know I probably got 1,000 comments down here that I hadn't got to. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me scroll down. Um, how about the Panorama P6? Is it still worth buying nowadays? Should I buy something like a Arturia MK3? Personally, think it's a beast. The Arturia MK3 is dope. I had the MK2 for quite a while, and that was one of my main like daily drivers. I love Arturia stuff on feel. The key bed on this isn't like, it's decent. It works. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, and again, decent. When I say decent, doesn't mean bad. If I had my pick, I like Arturia's key beds better than I like Nectar key beds. That's just me. But this board, let me get over to my screen here. This board offers a ton of functionality that's just not in the Arturia. I got a full on like review on this coming really, really soon, where I'm going to be able to dig into this in a really meaningful way for you guys, because I've had this board for 2 3 years now. I love it. I use it constantly. It's on a lot of my, I got a lot of videos where it's featured, but I actually haven't talked about it. That's the funniest thing. Some of the stuff that I use the most lately, not like as of the past, but the stuff that I've probably been really hard using in the last 7 to 8 months, maybe a year, I haven't really had a chance to talk about yet, mainly because I've been busy with so many other things. Let's see what else we got here, boys and girls. Panorama it is a beast. The Panorama is a beast. I think it's a beast, and it's still good for today. There's that question. I think I answered that earlier. I think I may have clicked on this earlier and didn't it? Yeah, I actually scrolled up. Sorry, that's what happened. I scrolled up too far. Straight up production says, and you can layer the V-Stage also. Yes, yes. You can layer all of the parts. I can layer. See, I got the bells over here, but I got layers over here. You know what I'm saying? So you can definitely do that. You can definitely do that. Says live stream ain't stable. Is it not stable? Is it back? Are we still good on the live stream, guys? Did I miss something? I don't see anything recent that's saying. I don't see anything recent that's saying my stream isn't stable. Is my stream good or not? Let me know. This may have been up. may have been commented a while back. I don't know. Um, I don't know yet. You know, you guys tell me if it's good. You guys tell me if my stream is good. Let me look at it on. I'll pop it up on my phone real quick. Because I'm streaming to like 3 or 4 places at the same time. So you guys let me know. Looks pretty stable to me. Let me know. Yeah, let me know if I'm missing something. I don't want to be like going super duper crazy and miss something. You know what I'm saying? Sounds like it'd be great for pop music. Yeah, I mean, I think for that and for touring, Josh, because you're a touring cat, you've been on the road and you know how, and you're a programmer too. I think personally, this is a programmer's dream. And I know I'm trying to get you up here soon for real, for real. So I get you up here, I'm gonna let you see it. It's good for a lot of things. I wouldn't just discount it down to one specific genre, but I would say that if you love to program, if you love like the nerdy stuff, if you really live in the MSB, LSB program change, if you really live there, you're gonna love this board because it's just super dope for that kind of stuff. He said the German Grand is a Steinway and the Bow Grand is a Bose. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you for that bit of information. He said for piano sounds wrote Nord. If you just want a piano that's dope, Nord. That's it. I don't think there's no argument there on what it sounds like. What's there. That's just it's just what it is. Um he said, okay, hold on 1 second, cheese. I'll give you let me put that in the link right now actually. Give me a second. I'll give you guys an affiliate link here that you guys can get. Give me a second. I don't even know why I didn't think about that, huh? YouTuber. Think about affiliate links. I'll give you guys a really quick one. This is Amazon. It's probably the quickest I can get to. Is Amazon. The other ones like Sweetwater and all of that. Um, I'd have to like really dig on. So I'm gonna give you guys a I'm gonna give you guys a Amazon link. I'm putting it in the chat on YouTube. Let me see if I can hit the send button. Um, that's on Amazon. That's probably the quickest one I can get you. That's for the 76. And let me get you guys one for the 88. Let me get you guys one for the 88 real quick. And this is just because I this is the quickest link I can get to. Because I have like a Sweetwater affiliate. I have Sweetwater affiliate. But it just takes it would take me way too long during to where it's not something I would want to do during the stream. It just would take way too long for me to try to jump in and get that. So if you want to get it, Amazon, just use the Amazon link there, what have you. Let me get here, make sure I'm for piano sounds. We need affiliate purchase link. Talked about that earlier. Action is really, really dope. I love this better than I love the waterfall action better than I like the 88 key action. And then it's a less heavier board as well, heavier for playing, and it's heavier, lighter for um less. It's lighter for playing and lighter for travel. You know what I'm saying? The fact that this board is almost pocketable. You know what I'm saying? It's just the size. If for me, I like the 76. I think it's just a better workflow. You know what I'm saying? Just me. I talked about that earlier. You guys can maybe scroll back in the stream if you're watching. You can probably go back to that section and find that because there was about maybe 30 minutes ago where I signed on the V-Stage. This isn't, I mean, this, you can redesign this, but this is a sound that I designed from scratch on the V-Stage. So it's more than just pianos. And that's all from the V-Stage. That's a sound that I literally designed on the V-Stage. It's coming in my pack. I'm working on a pack. It's going to be ready soon. And I'm working on a pack with Roland exclusively that we're going to release for the V-Stage. So that's coming out soon. So you guys keep up with me on that. This will be out. So it does do seamless transitions. You can transition from sound to sound without that or what have you. My man says if I hook it up to my iPad USB-C, yes, it just works. It'll just work. Not only does it work in that standpoint, you can hook it up with USB-C and you can go live with the board using the audio coming straight off the board. So imagine this, you could run I'm just giving you guys scenarios for what I would do, because we're in this generation where we love like streaming ourselves playing and stuff. You could literally, through one USB-C cable, you can plug it up to, you can plug it up to your iPad or your, your phone. You can play this, but you can also stream the audio straight audio straight off the V-Stage into a live stream, right? So imagine this, you get to church, you don't need which basically what I'm saying is you don't need an iRig anymore. You can run straight off you got sub ends, you got two ends. You could run your ends into say you run off your mixer, your Aviom or whatever, normally like you would plug into your iRig, run that line into the V-Stage. Run it into the V-Stage. You got two inputs. You got basically left and right stereo input on here. Run that into the V-Stage. Now you got your audio coming off your Aviom, off your board, your in-ear mix coming straight into the V-Stage, going out into your phone, into the live stream. But wait, there's more. Then you can grab your Talkback mic, plug it into the back of the mic input on the V-Stage, right? Plug that in, and you got a mic here. Use your sub outs to route out of the V-Stage. Use your outs. You got sub outs. You got left, right, and you got sub outs. Route out so you can have your talkback for your band. But guess what? That talkback is also being feeded back into the live stream. So think about, this is your complete setup for like your live. You don't need a what's it called anymore? You don't need a iRig anymore to go live with. You got V-Stage. You can literally plug it up. The dope thing is also, I don't have a USB-C. The USB-C cable I have is plugged up to my laptop, but you can plug it up to your phone and charge your phone during service. Come on, bro. Be real. You can, it's just a different animal. And that's what I want you guys to kind of get in your head. I know a lot of people have been hubbubbing about this being a Nord, clone, which it looks just like one. I can't argue with you on that. But it's so much more once you get under the surface. All right. Oh, there was the other part of that question. And does it have, what does that say? Sorry, I'm trying to see it. It doesn't have the unison button and delay controls where it's easy to get to. I have to research that. I'm not sure what you mean by unison button. My brain is not turned on for that right now. Inbox me and explain to me what you mean by unison button. Because if I'm thinking about, because uni makes me think about the uni vibe thing. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Control center view sounds like the RD 2000. That was great for controlling. Yes. Yes, so you can definitely do that. Dojo of Cool. It's the same, but that's a rolling thing. You can do that on the Phantom as well. You know what I'm saying? So it borrowed everything from the Phantom, everything from the RD, 2000, stuff it into, what I'm saying, this workflow, just a more compact, controllable workflow that gives you faders, not faders, but gives you drawbars, that gives you like just utmost control kind of flow, and they packaged all of that with the same kind of in and out and control, center stuff that you can bring from that standpoint. Have I downloaded? I have not downloaded any of the expansions yet. I don't know. I'll get back. I'll report back on that question when I dig in. Ed's in the chat. Maybe he can answer that. I think I saw him in the chat. Sounds like a Moog. Yes, sir. But that's something I was able to build. I know all of the internal presets are definitely editable. You can jump in and mess around with the ASDR on everything and do all of those things like that. He's in South Carolina. He's still in the Carolinas. Oh man, yeah. Keep driving, bro. Stay safe. Tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, just hit me. We'll make it happen. I'm with that. He says, if I'm going to spend 4,000, they better have all of the bread and butter sounds straight out the box. And they do. I mean, you got bread and butter sounds out the box. You just do. You know what I'm saying? Like bread and butter is there. You know what I'm saying? The bread and butter are there. Let me pull up a different sound here. The bread and butter is there. Let me pull up a different vibe here. This is just a regular scene. This is an initial scene, initialize piano. You know what I'm saying? Piano, EP. EP is there. Organ is here. Oh, that's the tone wheel. And I got it plugged up over here. This is hooked up. I'm using this as a controller. Controller and the feet. All I did was plug it up. I didn't do anything special. I literally just plugged this up. My foot pedal works, my lower, my upper works. What other board can you do that with? Like out the box without having that with the stage, with the Nord. You just can't. Like I've tried it with my electro. You just cannot. It's not plug and play, upper and lower and foot. I just plugged it up. I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything in here. I just plugged it up and it was just working. Just working. You know what I'm saying? Like it just works. So you got the organ and you got pads and strings galore. You know what I'm saying? Lead sounds, all of that stuff. It's got the bread and butter sounds. So now here's the question you have to ask yourself when you mean bread and butter is you want to spend $4,000 and you want it to sound like a Nord for $1,500 less. If you want a Nord, just get a Nord. If you want something like this, then you get this because of what it offers, and what Nord offers, in terms of their work outside of their workflow is just really good sounds. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you need, then you go get what you need. But if you need something, if you're looking at this, yes, you're going to get bread and butter sounds, but you're also going to get all of this other stuff that none of these other boards do. And that's my argument on that. That's just me, you know what I'm saying? But you spend what you want to spend it on. You know what I'm saying? Okay, everything's smooth on my stream. Thank you so much. Uh, let me see. Make sure. Man, you guys are so good with this. I want to make sure. He said, how the SA EP keys drive no reverb, no chorus. Let's find out. A one, a two, a three. Three. Yeah, if you're a 90s kid, you know that you know where that's from. So I can go in here in the EPs. Go down here to digital, SA piano. This is SA piano 1. That's SA piano 1. I went to clav. Sorry, let me go back because I jumped categories. This is SA piano detune. It's like a detune version of it. Let's go to 2. This is SA piano 2. Now that's as close as you're going to get to MKS, but it's not. It's more close to P330. But it layers well. It layers well, you know what I'm saying? It really does, and then you add some strings in. Pad. That's out the box. That's like what you would call probably out the box. That's just straight out the box sound. Like that's not even me trying to do anything fancy. That's literally just me turning on all of the sounds, the default sound that you come up with. I could do church with just that, and I wouldn't even have to come off of that patch. Like I could literally do church with that. Maybe the only thing I would do is just go to J-pop, add J-pop in on the second layer, and call it a day. That would be it. I could just come in, sit down, and start playing with that. But if I want to get nerdy, the dope thing is I can get nerdy with this board. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about it. Let's go back over here to see what you guys are saying. Ed says that those sounds, even so, if you download expansions, they are fully editable. There you go. He says, what would you say better? And what is your personal experience Roland or Yamaha montage? That's hard, man. They live in different categories for me. The thing is, they're really close. In my mind for synth sounds. Yamaha on the Montage M6, I have on the M series, I have an M6. I don't buy 88 keys anymore because I have like a bunch of 88 key controllers, and I like the compactness. So I have a Montage M6. I have a Fantom 6. I have a Nautilus, the 61 key. I have the Nord 6D. I have the 61 key. I just have 61 keys of everything. And I got the 76 on this because I just have so many freaking 88 key MIDI controllers around here that I don't need any other. I don't actually need an 88 keyboard. So, but I get I get these boards for the brains for the sounds that are in them. So, Montage is the M series came out when they dropped the M series. There's some really good pianos in there, really, really good pianos. Yamaha offers something really, really dope to the game that I'm going to talk about in another video because I don't want to really like spoil it so much in this video because it's all about V-Stage. But Roland is just I don't know. I make the case for Roland being the king of aux, just the king of aux. Every time you look at the aux station on any tour, you're gonna find a System 8, a Phantom, a Juno, a Jupiter. These things like are standard on the rider. So Roland just wins on synth sounds. That's why I'm not really too hard on him about the piano per se, because Roland pianos are just Roland pianos, period. V piano is just V piano. The EPs or the SA EPs or the SA EPs, that's just what they are. Um, so I wasn't expecting, oh my God, blow my mind out the box when it came to rolling on the pianos. But on the synths, leads, um, pads, all of those things like that, Roland just wins. I mean, I love, like, for instance, if I go back to one of my sounds that I designed earlier, like just being able to pull something like this. Roland just wins on things like that. That didn't take long to build that. You know what I'm saying? So I just love Roland for that sort of stuff. But they're just flicking flat different things, what have you. And like Ed said, they're just totally different animals. It's just like that's like asking me which better, a lion or a cheetah. But they both got sharp teeth. They both run pretty fast, and they both can kill you. And they both live in the jungle. So there's a lot of similarities, but at the end of the day, these are two different animals. Man, I'm trying to catch up. Um, can you show some examples next time you go live? I don't see anybody talk about that. Oh, absolutely. I'm trying to lock in on a lot of this stuff. How easy are you able to? Very easy. Very easy. If anything, the cons for me on this workflow, it does take some time to kind of wrap your mind around a couple of things. But I got a video coming out with Ed, hopefully tomorrow. We'll be done with it. That will show like a really streamlined workflow for getting around this board, like really quickly, really easily. So once I was able to get that bit of knowledge, there's, for lack of a better word, some key kind of shift commands and things that you can do here that make it really snappy to get through scenes and different sounds and stuff like that, and set up. Again, like I said earlier, some assembly may be required with this board. That's the best way I can put this. That's the best phrase I have with this board. Some assembly may be required. And um, if you can get in and do the setup work on the front end, and then you set it, it becomes like a watch. You set it and forget it, and you just turn it on, and it just has everything locked in the way you like it. That would be my suggestion for this board for anybody looking to get it. He said, literally just ordered the Fantom 7. Yes, sir. Fantom '07 is actually a really dope board. Um, I would agree with you on that. It's not as ergonomic when you're first looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're coming off of an RD 2000, you're going to find yourself doing this. So you have it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find yourself, because it's a different workflow. But once you get it down, it's muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, it will be separately. It's gonna be separate. I'm still working on it. DS says preach, dope, nice. Your phone charge. Yes, charge your phone. It said, so is my audio? I know you guys, we're having trouble with this. Is it still going in and out? Are you guys having trouble with with the stream? Let me know. I keep getting that. I'm finally at the bottom of this. Let me know what's going on with the sound. Am I still tripping? Is my sound still tripping? Because I'm looking at my meters, and my meters look stable on there, so I'm not sure. Uh, when do you do this? Please come. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Any Zencore polyphony dropouts using multiple MIDI keyboards? Not that I've totally experimented with, but I haven't went heavy. Now, one thing to remember about the synth sections is that um, the thing to remember about the synth sections is that they share 200. So you got unlimited polyphony on organ, acoustic, and electric. When you get to the synth section, you have you share 256 uh, polyphony. It shares 256 notes polyphony. So 128 per. So if you're running one synth sound, you're gonna get the full 256. So you won't experience too much on that. But if you are running two synth sounds together, then you're going to experience some dropouts depending on how um how aggressive you play. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll notice something kind of funky there, but not for the average player. Not something the average player will probably notice. So is the organ on the V stage as full as the Nord organ? Yeah, it's definitely a full organ. I say anything it needs work on is the Leslie, which you can tweak. You just have to spend some time with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely like a full sounding organ. Oh, I got that turned up. Got to reassign that because I changed my setup. But it's decent. It's a decent sounding organ. And you guys can go back. I played the organ like earlier, like in detail. You guys can go back in the stream and watch it, and you'll see what I'm saying. So we're not able to strip off effects on those EPs. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. You can turn off all of the effects on anything. I just had them on. I think on that particular thing that I had on it, it had I probably had the master verb on or something. I just didn't turn it off. But yeah, you can turn off. No, you can turn off the effects. You can turn them off completely on everything. He says sounds fire either way. Just want to know. Yes, you can. You definitely can. Yes, the owl and the Tootsie Pop. A one, a two, a three. Three. If you know that, you'll know how old I am. I'm that old. I'm that old that I know that commercial. He says, what I'm saying, good question. He says, what I'm saying is I understand functionality on point, but why not get piano on point knowing what we like from Nord? I mean, fair, fair. Um, because I think it's just Roland is pioneered V piano. It's a virtual piano. It's a model piano. It's not going to, like I think somebody said it earlier, that it's not going to hold a candle to samples, right? Nord has the superior piano. They get the award on that. I'm not going to argue anybody about, Nord and versus Roland, and I'm not going to like BS you guys on this piano is just the best piano on any keyboard, period. No, it's not. It's just not. It sounds great. It's not a bad sounding piano, but is it the best piano? No. Will it, can, if you put it side by side with a Nord, is it going to compete? Nah, heck no. Nord is going to blow it out of the water in terms of its sound quality. But if you want piano, get piano. If you want the functionality that this offers, you get that. And then you MIDI the piano. Me personally, because I like have Logic and I have Main Stage and I have all these other, access to stuff. Me starting from bare bones and I had 4 bands to spend, I would get the V-Stage 76. I'm just giving you guys a use case. I get the V-Stage 76 and call it a day for 3,400 and maybe just buy Keyscape because I want a decent sounding piano, and then MIDI it because I'm gonna be the type of guy I am. I'm gonna be using MIDI anyway, despite that's just me. That's how I roll. I'm gonna be using internal sounds and I'm gonna be using MIDI. Just pull up Keyscape or the Logic piano is actually like killing. Like the new Logic Studio piano, I would just pull that out and use the MIDI that joint up and have it set up where I can have it in my scene to where when I change the scene over here, My Logic piano pulls up on my computer and it's routed through my V-Stage, and I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a happy dude at that point. That's what I would personally do, because I think that because I like what this board offers in terms of the in and out, the functionality of it. You know what I'm saying? Versus that. So that's what you have to do. But it's like asking somebody like when they're this is Roland's workflow. This is Roland's piano. So you're trying to get them to say, oh, put a better piano in there and to make it better than the Nord. I get that. I definitely do. But that's gonna probably increase the price significantly, and then you're probably looking at like, because they got to retool this whole thing and to be able to handle samples and do all of that. That's more like R&D they got to put in and all of that stuff. Yeah. Now you're asking for a different thing. You're saying give me Nord without Nord price, and I understand that. And that's what they did. They used their architecture, they used their sounds, their things that they had. They put it into this board, and they said, "Here you go," you know. And we've added a whole lot of stuff for you guys to be able to play. So again, I just go functionality over sound in my particular space. Like I have, if I'm making this board make sense, that's what it makes sense for. It makes sense for the functionality that it offers. Not, oh my God, this is the best piano sound I've ever heard in the world. If I want Nord piano, I'm going to go pull up my Electro. If I'm going out on the gig, going to church, playing at church or whatever, and Nord, the piano is the premium thing I need for that setup. If the most important thing in that setup is the piano, then I'm going to get a Nord. If that's the most important thing, if the only thing that matters in that setup is the piano, then I'm just going to get a Nord and call it a day. But if I need something that is going to be my central command center where I can pull aux sounds over here on this board, and then I can have my organ still running off of this V-Stage. This is the V-Stage organ being controlled by my Kumar, feed included. Have my organ, mains here. I can control my computer. I got my Talkback mic routed in. I got my sub outs going out to the house with my tracks. I got all of this stuff. And we hadn't even gotten into some of the nerdy stuff with like program changes and stuff like that. That's just nuts. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got some videos coming out on that. But if I'm going to do that, that's what I would get this board for. I would get it because I want something to be my central station, not something that, but if the piano is the important thing and I'm not like, I don't need a central station, I don't need all the functionality, just get the Nord, call it a day. I spend 4 bands, add an extra 1,000 to it, and just call it a day. Seems more so like the signal. I don't know. Let me know. I'm trying to, I hope it's not still going out. But my man said it's not that bad. Okay. This is live. I'm live. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes internet be interneting. You know what I'm saying? But I am recording the stream, so if it gets bad, I'm going to, take it and edit it after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Okay, we're almost down to the bottom here. From that list, Nord counts as automatic wins. Yeah. Large amount of good piano sounds, synth engine, arpeggiator, high quality. Yeah, this does not have an arpeggiator on it, so that's another L. High quality B3 organ sound, the feel of the key bed. Does the feel work well if you're switching between piano organ stuff? The outputs, audio, MIDI. How does the V-Stage stack up in these categories? Yeah, the Nord High. That's what you call it, the Nord High. It's got a large amount of good piano sounds. It does. One, it does. Two, synth engine. It does not have an arpeggiator. It has two synth engines. It doesn't have an arpeggiator. It does have a high quality B3 sound. It does. Is it something to write home mom about? Probably not, but it definitely is good enough and you can tweak it. The feel of the key bed, the feel of the key bed is Awesome. I got no qualms on that or the 88 key version. And does the feel work well when you're switching between piano and organ stuff? With this, it definitely does. I like the feel of these waterfall keys better than I like my electro waterfall keys. So if I was going out to a gig where I had to play organ and keys, I would use the V-Stage. I would grab the V-Stage because it would lend better to both styles of playing, whether I'm doing organ or whether I'm doing keys. You know what I'm saying? And then the outputs, both the audio and MIDI, V-Stage wins bar none on audio and MIDI, period. Like it just doesn't, nor just doesn't stack up to the in and out that this board has. It just doesn't, period. So that's my fast five. That's my fast five with Nord versus V-Stage. Um, V Piano technically has more dynamics. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that because it's tweakable and you can do so much with V piano that you can't do with anything because it's modeled versus samples. Samples sound good. Models are can be modeled pianos can be just tweaked ad nauseum and can sound however you want them to sound. You know what I'm saying? Um, is it compatible with FL Studio? Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty sure it is. It's just a class compliant. It shows up as a class compliant device. So it'll work inside of FL Studio. It'll work inside any DAW because it's just a class compliant device. Yes, sir. Fair enough. Is there a release knob? There is not a release knob. Not a knob, but I think you can get in there and tweak the release. You know, that's funny. Do you know anyone that uses FL for church? Not offhand. I know some people that use FL for producing some gospel stuff, but I don't know anybody that's using FL for church specifically. I don't. Man, I finally got to the bottom of the comments. Jeez, and then another comment comes in. Oh my God. I went out. It went in and out, but it's back now. Okay, I gotta figure out what's going on. Maybe I'm on the kids' Wi-Fi. I hope not. Let me make sure. That's what it is. Shoot. Okay, I'm scared to switch this. It's probably going to die on me. That's what the issue has been. The issue has been that I'm on the kids' Wi-Fi. Let me try something. Hopefully I don't. Okay, stay with me, guys. I'm gonna click a button to change my internet connection, and I might drop out completely for a second. So don't go anywhere. We'll be. It's gonna probably pop right. It's probably gonna pop out, and then it's gonna pop right back in. So it's probably gonna freeze, and then it's gonna pop back in once this connects. So let me try this. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hopefully I don't lose you guys. Hold on. If so, then I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, it switched over. I'm on the other internet connection now. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, let me know if I'm back. Let me know if that's better. Let me know if that froze or how seamless that was. Let me know. He said, is it better than the RD 2000? Thinking about it. I think it's definitely better than the RD 2000. I think it's better than the RD 2000. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. I switched my internet connection. Let me know. I'm waiting for verification that didn't like end the entire that didn't crash the entire stream. Let me know. Waiting on some verification here. Just give me a thumbs up or something to let me know that the internet did not just completely die on me. Let me know. I am waiting to see. Let me know. Am I back? Am I gone? Okay, my man says I am solid. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what it was. I was on the kids' Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, guys. So that's been But I mean, I'm gonna edit this down into some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, let me uh, check real quick here. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I'm kind of nearing the end of this or what have you, of this live. Uh, yeah, I've been right here at 2 hours on live. So it's definitely dope. That's my take on this board. No dropouts. It didn't crash. Okay, I wish I did that an hour ago. You know, but my hard take is this: you get this board. Um, my hard take is this: you get this board for the functionality that it offers. Is it a Nord killer? In some areas, yes. In other areas, no. It will definitely work for anything that you want to use it for. Ooh. So it's decent. It's a great board. I got no checks for you guys on that. My man says, "What do you think about the stock piano sounds? They stand on their own. There you go, right here. I mean, this is just that. Like if let me see if you guys can hear this. Let me pull up something real quick. I'm gonna pull up like let's see if you guys can hear this. That means the audio is not routed. Let me route this audio real quick. What's going on? It's going out of black hole, and it needs to go out of it doesn't need to go out the V-Stage. It needs to go out of the external headphones. That's what it needs to go out. Why am I not hearing that? Let me just save. I was trying to pull up something I did in Ableton, but it's not working. So either way, I was gonna pull up some tracks and like play it in Ableton or whatever, but that's not doing what I need for it to do. Give me a second. You just I'll just pull this track up that I started with on Logic. You know, it keeps doing that. It's funny. That's why I did that. Okay, now I gotta get this back to where I had it. Yeah, we're back on that. All right, let me see. But they definitely can stand on their own. They definitely can stand on their own. Let me see. Oh man. Thank you, bro. But in this day and age, I don't give them a pass on what we need in our lucrative feed. We'll be a church or secular. So I ask you. So I say, ask you or me from the low end for sounds. I mean, I don't. Yeah. If I'm understanding, I don't give them. I get that. I definitely get that. Via in via church or secular. So I say, ask you or me from the low end for sounds or stamp of approval. I'm not sure what you mean by that last part, but I mean, I rock with this board. At the end of the day, I rock with it. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I'm at. I would say if this is in your budget and you don't want to spend 5,500 bucks for a Nord, get that. Get this V-Stage and you'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? Um, Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. And so that's what works for you. You know what I'm saying? What works for you, and that's probably most people. But I think it stands by itself even without that. Even if I don't take all of this stuff, if I just roll out the door, if I got to go to a gig, bro, I'm probably grabbing this. Just out the door. You got to be somewhere tonight, 7:30. Grab my bag, V-Stage. I'm ready to go. And I'm not even trying to like do anything crazy. And that's just me. I would just grab this, walk out the door, call it a day. And then if I'm really like trying to get down and dirty and program and have multiple boards, this board can do it. And that's my point. It's just versatile in the sounds that get there. So I say go to Guitar Center, man. Check it out for yourself. Sit down with it. If you're not impressed with it, then you're just not impressed with it. If you're impressed with it, go for it. All I can do is show you guys what I think is dope about it, and what I think is dope about it is the fact that I can lock in with this stuff. Yeah, I can get with you on that, Danny. I can Danielle, that I won't try to pronounce that. I can get with you on that. I can get with you on that. I can definitely get with you on that. Well, this has been fun, guys. I'm not gonna hold too much more of your time. I've got some more videos coming out on this thing that's going to be really, really cool. Nope, you know what I'm saying? For that sort of thing, it's just gonna be really, really cool. So I'm excited. I'm excited about being able to get those videos out to you guys so you guys can see it. But I wanted to go live and give my initial opinion on it. So I'm gonna play this track on the way out. We're gonna have some fun, just to kind of play. Let's have some fun on the way out. fun, guys. All right, folks, that was fun. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to be out, about to get back to it. I'll see you guys later. On the way out. I'm just playing. This is just fun. All right, I'm out for real now. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. I'm out. I'll let you, boy.